People are in your life for reasons and seasons. But my question then is, what happens when that reason has passed? What's happening, y'all? This is Mike D with Black Fathers Now, where we're bringing the village to the brothers. Every couple of weeks, you can look forward to a quick inspirational message or a thought-provoking guest with knowledge and wisdom, all geared towards helping you be the best father that you can be. We're bringing the village to you. Now it's your turn to do something with what you learned. All right, y'all. Let's go. What's going on, fellas? This is Mike D, Mr. Double Down on You, your favorite personal development coach, with another episode of Black Fathers Now. Now, check this out, man. This is a quick episode, but I wanted to lay something on you that is it's important, but it's also something that I struggle with on a personal basis, right? And that thing is this. I'm one who values relationships. I value strong and meaningful relationships. Like when you think about, if I were to describe the four legs of my table, right? Like my table for my family and for me personally, it's faith, health and wellness, strong, meaningful relationships, and freedom. Those are the four legs to my table: faith, health and wellness, strong, meaningful relationships, and freedom, right? So thinking about strong and meaningful relationships, I'm one that struggles when relationships aren't what they used to be. I'm one that struggles when relationships aren't what they used to be. But as I struggle, I also have to remind myself that people are in your life for reasons and seasons. Now, when we're talking about people being in your life for reasons and seasons, we're primarily talking about folks that you're not born into. So we're not talking about the family that you're born into, right? Now, that actually applies in some instances, right? Some family is only there for reasons or seasons. But typically outside of the family you were born into, people are in your life for reasons and seasons. But my question then is, what happens when that reason has passed, or what happens when that season passes? And there's nothing wrong. Like there's no issue. There's no falling out. You all didn't start getting into different stuff. It's just a fact that, you know what? This reason while we were tight or while we were connected, that reason, is pretty much handled itself. Or the seasons have changed. And I'll tell you again, if you go back to what I mentioned, the four legs of my table being faith, health and wellness, strong, meaningful relationships, and freedom. When I'm thinking about strong, meaningful relationships, I have a tendency to want to hold on. Like when I have a good relationship, when that's a really good homeboy, a really good homegirl, or just a really good friend of mine, I'm like, I just want to stay connected. I want to continuously check in. I want to keep that thing burning. You know what I'm saying? But the reality is, again, people are in your life for reasons and seasons. And as I challenge myself in that thinking, because again, that's something I personally struggle with, I have to give myself an example. My brain works in associations, right? So when somebody says something to me, I'm always trying to figure out how that associates with something else. Then it helps to make sense to me, right? And so when I think about seasons changing, I have to think about something like clothes, right? So when it goes from winter to spring, I might not wear the big coat, the big hoodie, the skull cap, or the beanie. I might not wear all of that when it goes into spring because it's no longer that cold outside and I would burn up. So as the seasons change, sometimes you have to change what you wear, right? You have to change your clothing. And as you move into the summer, I'm not dressing the same way in the summertime, in the middle of July in the South. I'm not dressing the same way in the summertime as I would in the middle of the winter. You know what I'm saying? And so different seasons require different clothing. And as I think about relationships and friendships, people are in your life for reasons and seasons. And at times the seasons change. And as the seasons change, sometimes you have to change what you wear. And there's nothing wrong with that. I have to tell myself that on a regular basis. There's nothing wrong with that. But you sometimes have to realize that, you know what? This season is over and it's okay. It's okay to move forward, because as you clean out your closet with the winter clothes, it's time to bring in the summer clothes. So it's like sometimes you have to have some adjustments take place so that you have the room necessary for what's supposed to be in your life for this particular season. And again, I'm telling you just from a true, authentic self, personal, whatever, however you want to put it, from me being my true, authentic self, I want to tell you that's something that I struggle with, is I hold on, and sometimes you just need to let go. Now, I'll throw another thing out there for you all to think about. Again, this is the personal development coaching moment for you to just kind of process. You also don't necessarily need to go through the notion of trying to remove people that don't necessarily need to be removed. So sometimes we have folks that approach life from a very selfish perspective, in a sense of it's all me, it's who's serving me, who's giving me what I need, I'm getting what I want, me, right? So some of us have to check ourselves as well, because there are some of us that are always looking to cut someone off because it's not serving you well at that particular moment. And relationships are a two-way street. If it's a relationship in which you're only on the receiving end, full transparency, that's probably not a relationship. And that person who's always giving to you is probably not viewing it as a relationship. Vice versa, if it's a situation in which you're always on the giving end, eventually your bucket does get empty, right? And you're going to start building some level of resentment if things don't flow back and forth. Okay? So don't go out looking for people to eliminate. Because I know on Facebook we'll have, you'll see people, drop comments about, oh, I'm purging and I'm getting rid of all these people and I'm getting rid of this and getting rid of that. Honestly, in my opinion, that stuff kind of takes care of itself, because you start to move into different seasons in your life and you just start to realize that, you know what, y'all really aren't aligned anymore. And that's okay. They're on to something else. You're on to something else. You don't really have to make it a big point to go out of your way to cut people off. Now, sometimes you do, but if you find yourself always being that person of I'm looking for people to cut, then you might want to rethink that, because as seasons change, your wardrobe is going to change. And a lot of times you really don't have to do a lot of being intentional about cutting people off for that to happen, because eventually that will happen. And when it does, or when it presents itself that way, just be open with allowing the seasons to be what they're supposed to be. And you dress, I'm using air quotes here, accordingly, so that you can move forward and be in the right position to do what you're supposed to do with the people that you're supposed to do it with in that particular season. All right. Again, people are in your life for reasons and seasons. If that season is past, don't feel the need to hold on. Let it go. But on the flip side, don't feel the need to constantly purge and cut people off just because if you feel like you're the one that's always having to cut people off, it might not be them. That might be an indicator that you need some work. All right. Well, hey, I hope this one sits on you for a little bit, and I hope I hope this helps you to think about relationships in a way that might be beneficial as you navigate this world, because we don't live alone, right? We're in this world and we're navigating it with other people. And so how you do that is going to matter. All right. Well, hey, as always, make sure to visit blackfathersnow.com. To be fathers, make sure to register for Jumpstart Fatherhood. You can get there from blackfathersnow.com. A 15-module course is really going to help change your life for sure. And share this episode out with somebody. And fellas, ladies listening to, y'all be blessed, well, and wise. And I'll holler at you. Peace. Yo, fellas, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And always visit blackfathersnow.com, as well as follow Black Fathers Now on virtually every social media platform you can think of. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, everywhere. Just follow us and engage with us, man. Look forward to hearing from you. And I guess until next time, I'll holler at you. Peace.